Hello and welcome to EV Car Share. You have joined me in a lay-by on the side of the A1. It's very noisy, very busy out there. I plan to start from one of my favourite starting points, which is the Starbucks at Wittering off the A1, but I missed my junction. It happens to all of us, doesn't it? So I was overtaking the lorry. There was other things overtaking the lorry, including another lorry, and obviously I was in the wrong lane. Didn't get over to the left, couldn't really pull straight across the lorry I'd just overtaken. I misjudged where it was at the A1, but hey, maybe I need to program my sat nav before I start. So here I am on the A1, just north of Peterborough, and today is another trip. So I'm heading up to St Helens. It's a place I've been to a few times before, actually. I think I've done one video on it. Anyway, same place, same reason, still work, same customer in this case, and that is my job for today. So I'm going to get heading on. It's only just gone 7 o'clock. I have 150 miles in total to do. I've got 137 remaining. I'm 96% battery. Won't need to charge on the way, but on the way back I'm planning on coming across the Peak District around Sheffield, and there are some Ionity chargers there. I'm going to want to use one of those just for a tiny top up on the way back. So that will be my trip. I have done St Helens and back without charging. I think it's kind of on that cusp of, can I get there, can I not, can I get back, and then you arrive back with that 4% battery. Today I don't fancy doing that. I just fancy kind of not worrying about it too much, get round to Sheffield, quick top up, 5 minutes, something like that. So we'll see how that goes as an alternative. It'll be a different route back. It'll take me over the Woodhead Pass, which I'm quite looking forward to. Might stop at the top and do some video from up there. So that's the plan for today. So let's get going. Right, that's quite useful. That was a gap in the traffic. Don't get too many gaps in the traffic, but that was one that was just perfect for me. Obviously with an EV you get the acceleration that allows you to get out into smaller gaps, but that was a gap I could have taken in a sluggish diesel. So perfect. And we're on our way. Traffic on the other side is not good. It's all backed up. I don't know what the problem is, whether they've closed the lane on the A1 for some reason, or whether it's just really bad traffic, but not looking good on the other side. So coming up here on the left is RAF Wittering. This is one of the UK air bases. You won't really see any of it, it's behind the trees. You can see the sign there in red, RAF Wittering, and a couple of cars going, or a motorbike and a car going into the airbase, and you may just about see the plane on your left there if the camera allows for it. And I'm heading up the A1 and then take my usual route through Melton Mowbray to the A50, across the A50 to the M6, up the M6 onto the M62, and then from there kind of cut through the back roads probably to St Helens, and that is the plan for this morning's journey. Let's just clear this lorry, and we are on the way. So this is a slightly different cut through to what I normally do. So I normally leave the A1, cut through Oakham, or past Oakham, on my way to Melton Mowbray and on to the A50. This time I've turned off onto the A668. I think it's the A668, not the B668. Well, it could be either. Maybe it's B668. Anyway, it doesn't really matter. This one cuts through slightly further north, and it misses out Oakham. You go through fewer little villages. I think it might be an extra mile or something, but you go through fewer villages and junctions and don't do the roundabouts around Oakham. So it's a little bit quicker, if maybe a tiny bit longer. So that's my choice today. Sat-nav often sends me this way, or wants to send me this way, and I go the other way. I just like the other way. I like to go past Oakham. It's quite a nice route, even though it's through a few little villages. It's quite nice. But on this occasion, I'm going to take the way the sat-nav suggests and go this way. And there's a couple of angled junctions like that are quite awkward. We have to kind of see behind you and really turn your head to see down the road you're coming up to. Fortunately, with the Kia EV6, I have the blind spot indicators in the mirrors, and they're quite useful in that situation, because at that sort of angle they will often pick up traffic that's coming from your right. If you haven't seen, well, it doesn't matter whether you've seen it or not, they're going to pick up the traffic if it's there. But it allows you to see, when you're looking in your mirrors and looking over your shoulder, trying to get a glimpse of the road behind you to the right, pulling out of a junction. Obviously, if you were on a left-hand drive car, you would be coming the other way, it would be behind you to the left, and that obviously would be all reversed. But the indicators are there in both mirrors anyway, so it's irrelevant. But yeah, they're quite useful. They flash up, it warns you, it beeps. It's good. That's a function of the car that I do really like, is the blind spot indication in the mirrors. Really good. Well done, Kia. Although, to be fair, it's something that's quite prevalent at the moment throughout all new cars. It's not just Kia. That's for sure. Okay, so we have still plenty of distance to go, 122 miles. It's currently 91% in the battery, so I've got 258 predicted range, and I'm currently doing 3.3 miles per kilowatt hour efficiency. So let's carry on. Okay, A50 done, M6 coming up. This is the junction with the M6 and the A500 to North Stoke and Crewe. There are some services here. You can see just ahead of me the Shell garage. There's a KFC and maybe a Greggs up there as well. And I think there might be a travel lodge as well. There is Shell Recharge if you need to recharge your car, but I would not recommend Shell Recharge. Generally very expensive and very unreliable, so you certainly don't get what you pay for with Shell Recharge. So I mean, it's energy, you can charge there, but there are just so many better options generally. So up onto the M6, so motorway now until the end of the first leg. Obviously need to go home as well later. We are 3.8 miles per kilowatt hour, 65% remaining on the battery, which relates to 176 miles. Done 109 miles so far, and I have 39 still to go. M6, M62, and a few back roads after that. So that's the state of play. By the way, it's been 12 degrees throughout the journey pretty much. It's cloudy, it's November. It shouldn't probably be 12 degrees, but these days I think we have to accept that times have changed. It will be warmer. So 12 degrees it is. And we're almost done for this morning's travel. Taken 2 hours 27 minutes to this point so far. And this is the M6 done, or the M6 section of my journey done. So 2 hours 51 minutes, 135.8 miles at an average of 3.8 miles per kilowatt hour. So it's been quite a quick journey really, under 3 hours to get to the M62 junction of the M6 from Peterborough. That's pretty good going. 54% battery remaining, estimation of 145 miles in that battery. For my journey I have about 10 miles left, so this is pretty much done really. As I say, I'm going to end at Burtonwood services, which is not very far up the M62 from here. Fortunately that junction there was not all snarled up, which often it can be. Turning off onto the M62 in either direction towards Liverpool or towards Manchester can often become a bit tricky, but nice and smooth this morning, which is great. All is good. So if this little red Fiat behind me will let me merge, I will merge onto the M62 and make some headway, make some progress. There we go. Get back up to speed. It's been a pretty uneventful journey, which, to be honest, most journeys are. Most journeys in an EV, most journeys in a petrol car are pretty uneventful. You will find if you switch from a petrol to an EV, yes, it's great in some respects that you don't have to stop at filling stations as much. You can just plug in at home. But for the most part, your journeys will be fairly uneventful, because as with pretty much every car, journeys are uneventful. Not the case for that BMW on the back of that low loader that we can just see on the left hand side though. It appears that that BMW did not have an uneventful journey in its last journey. It clearly had a substantial collision on its front left side. Not good. Don't know where that's going. Don't know if that is going to be repaired or whether that was written off. I'd imagine it's written off. A car like that's probably done a lot of miles. I can't imagine anybody's going to want to repair it. The amount of damage that was at the front there. So this is the junction for my services. Where I'm coming off. Now to get into St Helens, I've got two routes. I can either carry on, which is what the sat-nav was wanting me to do, or there's actually a back way through from this junction, which is probably what I'm going to take when I come to leave. But for the moment, I'm going to end this video, this part of my drive at the services here. Then on the north side of the M62, so I need to go right at this roundabout. Hopefully that guy will give me space. Thank you. Just cancel my route guidance, otherwise it's going to take me a different way off this roundabout. Don't want to confuse myself. So going up there towards Burtonwood is where I can do if I'm cutting through the back roads to where I want to go. But I don't want to do that. I want to come off as if I'm going back onto the M62, and then I can come off the services here. Pull in opposite the Teslas. So there we have a whole load of Teslas in a row all charging. So that's been my journey from Peterborough up as far as Burtonwood services on my journey to St Helens. So this is my morning commute to visit a customer. I'm going to leave it here because obviously don't have too much time to kill. Just a quick recap, just under 3 hours, 2 hours 59 minutes now on the clock, 3.8 miles per kilowatt hour, 140.6 miles done. And that's a Tesla just past me who seems to be going for that last Tesla bay. So it looks here like all the Tesla bays are taken, although there is one guy who's just got into his car, so he will be pulling away. One in, one out, it seems. All is good for them guys. 53% battery remaining, which equates to 142 miles. So that's that. I will need to charge on the way home, I think. 140 miles done, 142 miles remaining. That's too close for comfort. So it will be one of those short top-ups, kind of a 5 minute, 10 minute kind of small top-up to get me on my way later. So that's all I've got to say for now. So again, I will see you in part 2 on the way home.